Hey guys, my name's Flycut. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my shop. So today I'm taking a little bit of a break from, complete cat content and focusing a little bit more on my other hobby, which is 3D printing, primarily shoes. The shoes that you mostly see, all the shoes on the table here are variations of the same shoe. This is the Whaleberry from Makerworld. It's a pretty popular shoe. It's been out for I think about 2 years now. Chances are, if you're watching this on YouTube, you've seen it featured on another channel. And it's a cool shoe. It has some neat little hidden features. For example, if you open this guy up in Shaper 3D, you can turn on and off the accents and the laces and whatever else you want to do, and add to it if you know how to use the model. If you want to, but I think being able to customize the look is a neat enough feature just to mention to you guys in case you do decide to print this. So we're going to start by looking at these. These are printed out of flexible PLA on the upper, and then actual TPU 95A on the outrider exterior here. The material itself is actually pretty springy. You can see the flexible PLA, that's definitely a very springy material. The bottom of these shoes is a lot tougher. These I printed with 5 walls, and it just made the shoes way too stiff. So even though you need that to be strong, you don't need it to be that strong. But I was fascinated by the flexible PLA. That was really new to me. And so the next pair of shoes, I chose to do it completely in that flexible PLA. So these shoes were pretty uncomfortable. I could only wear these around, after I put an insole in them. And even then, they didn't become my daily driver. But these, I wore around pretty much every day for about 5 weeks. And they held up pretty well. You can see the wear and tear is not ungodly. And the shoes themselves don't have any cracks in them or anything. Even after being worn all that time, and even after kind of I'm put a beating on my shoes. I'm really bad to my shoes. You can even see there, it did deform over time, but it didn't tear. So the neat thing about making the outrider out of flexible PLA as well in this one is I started using a new type of infill. This one was gyroid for this, but this is TPMS FK. It gives the structure a little bit of more room to stretch out, in my opinion anyway, and that combined with this being flexible PLA for that part of the shoe makes this a very springy shoe. I'm not gonna lie, I did put insoles in these too. I just took them out and put them in the other ones. I can't remember why. But I did wear these about every day for 5 weeks, and they held up. But you can see there's one little spot that's concerning, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But first, let's talk about this other pair of 3D printed shoes that's really cool. Okay, so this is the next pair of shoes that I want to talk to you about. These are the same shoe. These are the Whaleberry. But the difference is that these have been opened in Shaper 3D. When you do that, you can turn geometry on and off, and these accents are on their own separate layers, so you can just turn those off and then re-export it and have a much cleaner, streamlined shoe, if that's what you're looking for. That was pretty cool. Soriatech TPU Air is really difficult to print with. I print with foaming TPU a lot now, and it's still the most temperamental. So take that, for what you will. These shoes were a great success in that, they're very, very, very flexible. Because it's foaming TPU, the outside of these is much stiffer, and the inside is printed at a hotter temperature, which makes it pillowy, and very comfortable on the foot. And I absolutely wore these guys out. So we'll talk about how they failed in a minute, but for right now, so the last pair of shoes that I want to talk to you about are these red and black two-tone split Whaleberries that I made. The upper on these is Recreus Filaflex Filafoam 95A, and it is my favorite material to print with, even though it is expensive AF. And the red bottoms on these are, I'm sorry, the black bottom on these shoes is actually PEBA. And so the foaming TPU definitely fused with the PEBA really well, and you can see it's got enough give in it and enough spring back to where it does return some energy to your foot, and it feels pretty light in terms of how it is as a shoe. You know, some people really didn't like the color split on these, and I get it. But I have been wearing them, you know, pretty regularly, and I haven't seen any signs of wear and tear that I normally see with the other shoes where they break down. So that's great, and I'm going to keep wearing them until I run them into the ground. But it is worth noting just that, you know, where these shoes would deform, these shoes tear. But even so, that's still my favorite material. All right, so let's talk about the Whaleberry just as a shoe. So the one downside that I would have to bring up when I'm talking about the Whaleberry is just its design for the strike point on the heel. That's where the shoe takes the most abuse, and it really isn't built for it. So you can see this is after 5 weeks of daily wear. You can see it's starting to give out right there. And what clued me into it was a pair that I made for one of my friends broke there, and that caused me to look here. And then I remembered my TPU Air ones, when they gave out, they both gave out at the same spot. So what that tells me is that these shoes, no matter what material they're made out of, will give out on you over time. And yeah, that sounds like a kind of statement that would apply to all shoes, but over time here, we're talking about, you know, weeks instead of months, or months instead of years, in best case scenarios. But yeah, as for now, I would say the life expectancy of TPU Air, I would set solidly at, like, you know, maybe 5 weeks tops. And, you know, maybe twice that for something more durable. But, you know, TPU Air is really expensive, so you got to take that into account when you're deciding whether or not you want to, you know, print this shoe. Additionally, this shoe does take 40 hours to print, so, you know, you got to be in it to win it to actually get a complete set. But that's it for me for now, regarding the shoes that I've been making over the past 5 months. I also started working on my own projects, so I decided to start using some of my 3D scanning knowledge to get some good shapes and good patterns for shoes by just going into the store and using my phone to 3D scan actual shoes, and then to try to turn them into real shoes. And I think I'm making pretty good progress. We'll go through all the design iterations, but here's my final result for now for this model. I call this the Flycut Flyer, and it's a really, really cool shoe that's available now on makerworld for you to download. And I'm going to make a video about it and talk all about it in the next one. But for now, I hope this video has been helpful. For those of you guys who wanted to know about 3D printing shoes and how long they hold up, or wanted to know about materials, or, you know, we're just on the fence about whether or not to actually print a shoe, I hope, you know, this video has been helpful to you guys, and tune in next time when I actually talk about how I turned a 3D scan of a shoe from the store into this. It's gonna be fun. All right, well, that's it for me for now. I'm Flycut. Thanks for hanging out for a bit, and remember, what's left is what matters, so make the most of it. All right, thank you guys. I'll see you all next time. Later.